All right, a couple other quick stories that I will not spend a ton of time on right now. Many of you wrote to me and said, David, Trump advisor Stephen Bannon has been sentenced. He got 4 months in jail. And that is true, but he's not going to serve a day of it, at least not for now, because of an immediate appeal. So the update on that, you might recall that Trump advisor Steve Bannon was subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. He ignored the subpoena. He was charged with contempt of Congress. He was found guilty. He has now been sentenced. Indeed, as the Associated Press reports, Bannon was sentenced to 4 months for defying the January 6th subpoena. District Judge Carl Nichols, however, allows Bannon to stay free pending appeal, a potentially lengthy process, and also imposed a fine of $6,500 as part of the sentence. Pretty strict, huh? $6,500. Bannon was convicted in July on 2 counts of contempt of Congress, one for refusing to sit for a deposition, the other for refusing to provide documents. Nichols handed down the sentence after saying the law is clear. Contempt of Congress is subject to a mandatory minimum of a month behind bars. Bannon's lawyers said you could give him probation. Prosecutors said give him 6 months. In my view, said the judge, Mr. Bannon has not taken responsibility for his actions, you think. Others must be deterred from committing similar crimes. Prosecutors argued Bannon deserves the longer sentence because he pursued a bad faith strategy, and his public statements disparaging the committee itself made it clear that his goal was to undermine their effort to figure out what happened on January 6th. He chose to hide behind fabricated claims of executive privilege and advice of counsel to thumb his nose at Congress. Your Honor, the defendant is not above the law. And that is exactly what makes this case important. It must be made clear to the public, to the citizens, that no one is above the law. So, sentenced. If he ultimately serves the 4 months, because now there will be a very lengthy appeals process, and who knows if he will, is 4 months even a serious deterrent? And what I mean by that is part of defying these subpoenas to the 1-6 committee is about showing loyalty to the cult leader, showing loyalty to the cult, to Trump. I'm going to stay true. I'm going to ignore the subpoena. If 4 months is all that is at the worst case waiting for you on the other end of it, it doesn't seem like a particularly strong deterrent from continuing to show your loyalty to the cult. Now, again, I have to mention this because of the comments I'm seeing about, oh, Bannon's going to get raped in prison. He'll learn real quick. First of all, the place Bannon is likely to go would be like a lower security federal facility, the type of place that Michael Cohen went to. There's not a lot of prison rape happening there. But more importantly, I've said this before and I want to say it again. When people talk about, oh, even if they only get 4 months, it's going to be worse because they're going to get raped in prison. That is a disaster. The fact that our prison system is so ineffective at keeping prisoners safe that sometimes there's sexual assault shouldn't be something that we relish and say, well, you can count on the punishment being a little worse. Guys, it's disgusting, okay? And I don't care if the sentenced individual is a Democrat, a Republican, a progressive, a conservative, or whatever. The fact that sometimes people are sexually assaulted in prison is just a reminder of how poorly functioning our prison system is. So let's not stoop to that level. Bannon is appealing. Let's see what, if anything, he ultimately serves. The David Pakman Show's longest running sponsor is Blinkist, the app that takes thousands of nonfiction books, boils each of them down into an explainer you can read or listen to in 15 minutes. Blinkist also condenses episodes of popular podcasts into 15-minute explainers. I've been using Blinkist for years to supplement the books I read. I love reading. I read all the time. But there's even more books I don't have time to read, and you can often find those nonfiction books on Blinkist and consume the entire thing in 15 minutes. My favorite new feature on the app is Blinkist Connect, which lets you share your Blinkist premium account with someone else. You basically get 2 accounts for the price of one, and then you can also share Blinkist books and podcasts between users. I have a joint Blinkist premium account with my girlfriend. Blinkist Connect lets us sync together what books and podcasts we're listening to on Blinkist, sparks many interesting discussions. We just listened to Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, the new version. Robert Greene, super interesting writer, find his books fascinating. You can try Blinkist free for 7 days and get 25% off a premium subscription at Blinkist.com/David Pakman. The link is down below.